black women in particular have been victimized through the strong black woman conceptualization. Black women, in essence, have been stripped of their right to be feminine because they have had to hold down the family. Given the war on black males, the incarceration of black males, black women have been pushed to the forefront without the support of their counterpart. And as a result of that, the world has reinforced this narrative of the black superwoman. So whenever a sister recognizes that I'm emotionally, psychologically, or cognitively vulnerable, she's considered weak.
Yeah. Thank you. Welcome back to Sunrise, everyone. Now, my next guest is an esteemed American motivational speaker, psychologist, activist, and social media personality dedicated to the principles of Pan-Africanism. One of his notable endeavors is the Jamaican Youth Tour, a transformative initiative designed to inspire and uplift the youth of Jamaica, and he joins us now to share more. We welcome Dr. Umar Johnson. Good morning.
Good Garvey Day. Glad to be with you.
I am happy to have you. No, we were just talking, before everyone joined us about your tours, how you have been traveling the world really with a message. If you could summarize it in a few sentences, Dr. Johnson, what is that message that you've been traveling around the world sharing?
I would say the message hinges upon the principles of Pan-African solidarity. As Pan-Africanists, we believe that the international solidarity of all members of our race is absolutely critical towards the liberation and emancipation of African people. Oh. Without that international networking, without that international communication, then we're going to struggle. We would say that the struggles of African people throughout the diaspora are related to the condition of Africa itself. The Honorable Marcus Garvey said that a strong people are strong everywhere. And as someone who has spoken on every continent except Australia, I can tell you that wherever I go, Chinese are in a strong position. European Jews are in a strong position. Anglo-Saxons are in a strong position. Arabs, East Indians are in a strong position. And wherever we are as African people, we are in a weak position. And that weak position is a direct reflection of the position that Africa is in. Until Africa is strong, all of us will be weak. And that's one of the messages that I take across the diaspora.
It reminds me of another quote that says, where there's a threat to justice anywhere, it's a threat to justice everywhere.
Absolutely.
And so it's a similar principle. We are so proud of how our own Marcus Garvey has inspired so many activists in times gone by, and still to this day. Mm-hmm. How important, and I want to, not even how important, but how early was it for you, and when did it happen that you found the works of our Marcus Garvey, our right excellent Marcus Garvey? When did that sinking, that kind of theory about the need for African unification?
My incursion into Black consciousness began in elementary school, level 4, level 5, at an elementary school in North Philadelphia. I'm from the same neighborhood as Bill Cosby. And it was at that school that I was introduced to the Black History program, Black History class. Without my knowledge, about 4 blocks away from that school, about 3 minutes walk, was the Division 121 of the Universal Negro Improvement Association and African Communities League. Yeah. So although the incursion began in elementary school, I would join the UNIA after I completed undergraduate college in 1997. Ironically, my mother bought my shoes from the sneaker store right next to the UNIA my entire childhood. So my entire childhood, we're going next door. But I never knew it was the UNIA.
Wow.
Because there was no signage. And then one day I'm walking past in college and I see red, black, green. I see a picture of the Honorable Marcus Garvey in the window. And an elder came around the corner. He said, "Can I help you?" I said, "What do you guys do here?" And he said, "Well, this is the UNIA. You need to come to our meeting Sunday at 3. And as you know, Mr. Garvey been holding meetings for the UNIA Sunday at 3 since 1914. When the organization was founded here in Jamaica. And so one thing led to the next. I ended up becoming first vice president. Then I became minister of education. And here we are.
Wow. Well, here you are indeed. Is this your first time in Jamaica?
No, I believe this is my 5th. My first visit to Jamaica, I was brought to the University of the West Indies by Professor Michael Barnett. I will never forget the first visit because I ate an ackee and saltfish patty and had an allergic reaction. Never allergic to anything in my life.
Oh, no.
Until I ate that patty.
Oh, no.
I had to spend a night at the hospital of the University of the West Indies. I said, did the CIA get me? Did the FBI get me? But I found that I was allergic to ackee. I love seafood.
Yes.
But for some reason, I'm allergic to ackee.
Oh,
I'm not
no.
allergic to anything else.
We're sorry for you.
It's okay. My second visit to Jamaica, I had the opportunity to spend a week on Bobo Shanti Hill with the Bobo Shanti Rastafari and got to learn firsthand about their culture and their spiritual system. And then I came back 1 or 2 times after that. And so I think this is my 5th visit that was hosted by Sister Vanessa.
Well, tell me about this visit, Dr. Johnson. We hear that, you know, this is your Jamaican tour. What are the stops on the tour and what do you hope to accomplish?
One of the things I've learned traveling throughout the diaspora, particularly Africa and the Caribbean, is we do not have strong and effective systems of mental health treatment.
Oh.
That is a weakness in the Caribbean. It is a weakness in Africa. I think it stems from the fact that a lot of us believe that if we just follow our religion, everything psychologically will take care of itself. Yes. As a doctor of clinical psychology, I know that's not true. People do need help. They do need treatment. They do need therapy. One of the things I would like to do for the diaspora as my contribution to the Pan-African freedom struggle is to help our Caribbean islands, help our African nations create an African-centered comprehensive system of mental health treatment, because we do have suicide in the Caribbean. We do have depression. We do have alcoholism. We do have substance abuse. We do have domestic violence. And these issues cannot be swept under the rug. They have to be addressed. And so as I travel, I'm noticing that one of the ways that I'm being most useful to our people in the diaspora, in addition to preaching the good gospel of Garveyism, is being able to help our parents and our community members understand what mental health illness is, what mental health treatment is, and moreover, to try to influence our elected officials to get serious about mental health in Black communities.
Oh, that's remarkable. In terms of, first of all, thank you. And you are correct. It is something that we've made, I believe, some advances, definitely, but so much work still needs to be done to change perception. It's one part of it is the provisions being put in place, but so much of it is getting our people to understand that you have not failed as a man or as a woman or as a parent or as a daughter or son if you feel that you can't do life on your own, that it is not a failure of your identity and of your strength and of your Blackness.
I'm glad
if you feel that, why, I don't feel like I'm coping, you haven't failed. And that thinking, because we've been heralded as being so mentally tough, that when we feel like we're weak, we feel like we failed, and it's not a failure. Changing the perception is so important. So your work is remarkable.
And women in particular, Black women in particular, have been victimized through the strong Black woman conceptualization. Black women, in essence, have been stripped of their right to be feminine because they have had to hold down the family. Given the war on Black males, the incarceration of Black males, Black women have been pushed to the forefront without the support of their counterpart. And as a result of that, the world has reinforced this narrative of the Black superwoman. So whenever a sister recognizes that I'm emotionally, psychologically, or cognitively vulnerable, she's considered weak, not only by the society, but other Black women. The sisterhood looks down upon Black women who admit that they are at a point in their life where they need some emotional support. And then the religious community has to be held accountable too, because within Christianity, within Islam, within the Jehovah's Witness community, there's also this false notion that if you need extra support beyond the doctrine of what we teach, something must be wrong with you. You must be lacking in spirituality. Your commitment to Jesus must not be sufficient. And that's not true. Mental health is mental health. At the same time, we have to be careful, because European systems of mental health would love to overflood Jamaica with psychiatric medications. We got to be careful, because psychiatric medication is a $30 billion business. So they would love to come to Jamaica and say, you're depressed? Okay, here's some Prozac. You got ADHD? Here's some Ritalin. So we have to be careful. We need traditional talk therapy.
Yes.
We don't need psychiatric meds.
We need nature therapy.
Absolutely.
We need water therapy. And by water therapy, just going by the beach,
Absolutely.
seeing water, going into the forest. You said something so remarkable. Not only is it, Eurocentric ideas about treating mental health, but the issues with the religious community is also stemming from our European understanding of our faith.
Absolutely.
That so much of it is just not factual to the original doctrine of the faith. And so it's this compound effect that I think is just us living in this post-colonial world, you know. When you talk about the changes, the contribution that you want to make in this regard, where can we look out for you in Jamaica? Where are you stopping? Where are you having these talks?
Yes, ma'am. And one quick point I want to underscore to your last comment in support of it is we also have to recognize that it was European psychology that gave rise to white supremacy and black inferiority. When you look at the fathers of segregation, apartheid, Jim Crow, colonization, slavery, many of them were psychologists. So it's understandable that black people are reluctant to seek treatment because the very people supposed to be treating us created the system of oppression that we suffer under. So this morning, I'll be speaking at Haile Selassie High School, where I've spoken before. I will then go to the Getty School. And then after that, we have a stop in Trenchtown at Havana Plaza. And then we're going to end today in Tivoli, the Mural Arts Project. And is it Buddy Park in Tivoli? Forgive my
yes, I'm laughing with you, of course.
Yes. We'll be there at 5 o'clock.
Yes.
And then I think tomorrow we go to the other side of the island and make a few stops there. I love to speak with the children. Children are the future. As a psychologist and a Pan-Africanist, I understand we do not change the way we think. We do not change the way we act. We do not change the way we feel unless we change the collective consciousness of African people. And in order to change the collective consciousness of African people, we have to change the way the children think. They are tomorrow. And to be honest with you, whether it's America, whether it's London, whether it's Africa, whether it's the Caribbean, whether it's South America, we do not invest enough into the transformation of consciousness amongst our young people.
I can't disagree with you, and I'm happy that you're here. Marcus Garvey said the greatest tool used against the Negro is
disorganization.
Disunity and disorganization. And so every effort to unite and organize is to be greeted with joy, that we can hope that the dreams of Marcus and Martin can come to pass. Thank you so much for your work.
Glad to be here.
Where can we follow you? Where can we stay in touch to see where you're going next? What you're up to? Give us your details.
Yes, indeed. I'll be heading to the Barbados on July the 8th. I will be in St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands, July the 16th. I will be keynoting the Ethiopian World Federation Conference in New York City, which I believe is the 18th. I will be in St. Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands for the local EWF convention there on August the 26th. I will be in London and Paris in October, Nigeria in October, Ghana in November.
This is your life's work.
This is my life until the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy is complete. Back home in Wilmington, Delaware, we're building the first school in American history to be exclusively financed by the African diaspora. Frederick Douglass, to whom I'm related by blood, and Marcus Garvey Academy. Once we build that school, I won't be able to travel as much because I will now be principal. And then once we open that school, I want to put them all over the diaspora. So I want Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy Kingston, Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy St. Anne's, St. Catherine's. We want them all over the Caribbean, all over Africa. So my contribution to the Pan-African struggle, I want to go back to my ancestors as being the first African in history to create a truly global African-centered school district.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Johnson, and all the very best for all of your efforts.
Thank you, Queen.
Stay with us, everyone. Sunrise continues right after these messages.
Patrick McDevil said, marry me. No, sir, my brother Patrick. We not doing that, my brother. You on the wrong page for that. No, sir, my brother. We are in traditional African family only, my brother. I don't know what you've been drinking tonight, my brother. I don't know what's going on with you, my brother. We don't fly them games. No, sir.